Space Jam. I have a soft spot for the Space Jam branding. Seeing references to Michael Jordan, the Toon Squad, and the Monstars give me a pleasant nostalgia buzz. However, rewatching the movie itself takes the buzz right out of me. Space Jam is a bad movie that I only like to rewatch and make fun of with friends or listening to cynical commentary by critics and podcasters. I mean, just thinking about the movie's existence is pretty weird. Imagine you've never heard about Space Jam or its history. Now imagine if someone told you there's a theatrical movie about the Looney Tunes playing basketball, or Michael Jordan goes to Looney Tunes World. How would you wrap your head around that concept? How else would you imagine this movie? I mean, personally, I wouldn't believe it until I saw a trailer, but after looking at the Super Bowl commercials, you can get why this movie exists. It's a big commercial itself.
Oh, Mr. Jordan! Next year, when I grow up, I'm going to win an NBA title. And when I'm 9, I'm going to be in a movie like Space Jam. And when I'm 10, I'm going to eat deluxe sandwiches, just like you.
That's pretty ambitious.
Now at McDonald's, try our deluxe sandwiches with a grown-up taste and collect these fun Looney Tunes stuffed characters from the movie Space Jam. Just $2.99 each with the purchase of a new deluxe or any other large sandwich.
Come on. You want to learn how to jam?
Yeah.
Space Jam at McDonald's. Come hungry.
Somewhere at an amusement park in space called Moron Mountain, the boss of it wants a new attraction for the park because I guess one kid got bored of it. So he gets the idea to have the Looney Tunes at his park once he accidentally turns on the TV and sees the Looney Tunes is playing on every station in the galaxy for some reason. So I assume he must be living in the dark timeline, seeing that Looney Tunes are at amusement parks like Six Flags, doing the same thing every day. So the big boss orders the Nerdlucks to go capture the Looney Tunes, who live at the center of the earth. They assault Bugs Bunny and gather up all the Tunes to tell them that they're being enslaved for an amusement park. All the Toons just start laughing at them until one of them pulls out a laser gun on Yosemite Sam. Why are the Toons so shocked at a laser gun when they know Marvin the Martian? And where is he during this meeting? The Toons trick the Nerdlucks into letting them defend themselves and challenge them to a basketball game because the Nerdlucks are small and they can't jump high. The Nerdlucks seem to be aware of that, so they steal the talents from 5 of the best NBA players, which mutates them into superstar monsters. Or as Sylvester puts it,
suffering succotash. They're monsters.
The Looney Tunes seek help from Michael Jordan, who just recently retired from basketball to play baseball. So they kidnap the man, terrorize him, and then ask him for help. But you know, he's just okay with agreeing to help them. Hey Michael, I know we just kidnapped you into Toon World against your will and away from your friends and family, but can you help us win a basketball game that does nothing to benefit you whatsoever? But Bugs, I'm a baseball player. I don't play basketball anymore. Michael, please!
That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
So the big game happens. The Toon Squad is just getting bodied on the court by the Monstars, so they start drinking Michael Jordan's secret G Fuel during halftime, which gives them the confidence to start beating up the Monstars with loony gags. This makes the big boss of Space Six Flags very angry, so he makes a deal with Michael to sell his soul along with the other Toons. He agrees to the deal, and then the Toon Squad just start getting bodied again. These chain of events causes Bill Murray to spawn and become the best part of the movie. And the Toons inform Michael he can break reality, so he slam dunks the ball from across the stage like Dhalsim from Street Fighter. And so the Toon Squad wins the game. Bugs gets to sleep with Lola Bunny, and Michael returns to basketball and loses on his return game. No, seriously, the score was 96 for the Bulls and 103 for the Pacers. Your boy lost his mojo.
Well, as you see, my timing was a little bit off today. I mean, I was just trying to get my rhythm back, and I don't know if it was a good game for me to come back.
So why is this called Space Jam anyway? The title has nothing to do with Looney Tunes or basketball, and the movie doesn't even take place in outer space. I'm down for the Looney Tunes having a female representation, but Lola Bunny isn't even loony. She's just a serious basketball player, and the movie is really horny for her. Bill Murray seems to be the only one with a real character arc. Most of the scenes with the NBA players dealing with the loss of their talents are kind of funny though. Michael Jordan's acting in this movie is just dry. He's much better in the Super Bowl Air Jordan commercials where he's actually part of the gags.
Air Jordan. What'd you expect? Elmer Fudd?
Also, both ads are really fun and fast-paced. It's kind of funny how the first ad foreshadows the future.
This could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
There were later ads for a phone company called MCI, but these came after the movie, and these aren't as fun.
MCI 5 cent Sundays helps me keep up with my Space Jam buddies.
There's also a fun McDonald's commercial that came before the movie. It features mostly NBA players interacting with the Looney Tunes. It makes me wish they had a scene like this in the movie.
It's not basketball season, duck season.
Give me that ball.
Something real familiar about that bunny.
Who do you think you are?
Let me show you. Amazing. Look, it's
Big Max.
Wait, guys, Larry, you gotta remember me. Charles, Reed.
In 2015, there's an ad where Marvin the Martian challenges Blake Griffin to a dunk-off, and Marvin really shows off his skills here. They should have put him on a team instead of making him the referee. And in 2016, there's a Foot Locker ad that fully references the Space Jam movie, but it's pretty lame. There's no gags or court action. It feels more like a teaser or a movie pitch, like, hey, what if we made a sequel to Space Jam with the main character being Blake Griffin?
Blake Griffin?
What'd you expect? Elmer Fudd?
That joke again.
Oh, like you don't say what's up, Doc, every day?
Alright, let's talk about the tie-in game for this movie. Yeah, believe it or not, this is the second Looney Tunes basketball game. The first one came out a year prior, and it was called Looney Tunes B-Ball for the Super Nintendo. So yeah, the Space Jam DNA has been floating around a lot before it was an actual movie. This game is made by Acclaim, who also worked on NBA Jam Extreme. These games do share the same engine, but NBA Jam Extreme is too radically different to be called a reskin. Also, these games came out around the same day for the PS1. And with that being said, this is just old school NBA Jam. You can jump high, you have a turbo, special abilities, and I suck at it because I don't play sports games.
We're gonna be sways.
And of course, Michael is the most OP character in the game. The game has weird mini games in between the quarters. Like there's one where you're controlling Daffy to get Michael's shoes, and it controls bad. There's one you race in a spaceship, and this one controls really bad. And there's one where you're Bugs Bunny in a locker room, and I don't even know what you're supposed to do here. People, just play NBA Jam. This game doesn't need to exist.
Yeah, Space Jam!
No! This is Teen Titans Go! See Space Jam!
We're not done with the first Space Jam yet, people. To promote Space Jam: A New Legacy, Cartoon Network aired Teen Titans Go! See Space Jam, which is a full-length movie of the Teen Titans commentating over Space Jam. I always look forward to Teen Titans Go! Crossing over with other Warner Brothers properties, so I was pretty interested in checking this one out. When I first heard of this, I thought the voice actors of the Teen Titans were going to ad-lib while they're watching the movie, but it's not the case. The commentary is very scripted and in character for the Teen Titans, and as a result, it's really corny. But every once in a while, they do sprinkle in some decent fun facts and trivia. All the movie's soundtrack has been replaced with new and original music. I assume they don't want to pay the artist for the rights again. The original music they do replace it with is still fitting. These aren't funny! They do skip some parts of the movie to do some gags in between scenes. The only gag that made me laugh is when they went to the old Space Jam website. It is fun to see the Nerdlucks again. Besides that 2016 Super Bowl commercial, they haven't truly appeared since that one cameo in Animaniacs. This wasn't all that interesting to watch, so if you're gonna watch Space Jam, just watch regular Space Jam. You can skip this.
What's up, Doc?
Oh, hey, Bugs.
You sound kind of fuzzy. Something wrong with your microphone? Oh, wait. Much better.
After the announcement of Space Jam: A New Legacy, WB made a contest for a contestant's game idea to be featured on Xbox Game Pass, and a winner will receive an Xbox Series S. I guess Warner Bros. Ain't throwing out the money for a Series X, huh? Anyway, the game was released as a 2D old-school beat-em-up, which I honestly prefer over another NBA Jam clone. You can choose between 3 characters, LeBron, Bugs, and Lola. You have one button for a series of attacks, a special attack that drains your health, and another button for shooting the basketball enemies. The basketball is a really unique mechanic in this game. It is satisfying to hit enemies with a ground slam. The other Looney Tunes are power-ups in the form of cards. Some of these can give you a boost of speed, send items, or have a big screen nuke attack. This game is free on Xbox Game Pass, but it's really short, which is honestly upsetting because I was having a lot of fun with this game. I'd pay good money to have a full version that expands on the attacks and the basketball mechanics.
It's Space Jam: A New Legacy. Win the game, save the world. It's the Toon Squad versus the Goon Squad. Starring LeBron James.
Toon Squad on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Now for some loony defense. Bugs with the ball blast.
And now on to the actual movie. A sequel to the original Space Jam was in the works as soon as the original movie was released. They even had concept art for the new villain, in which the character doesn't feel like a Looney Tunes style, but it does make me curious of how it would have been executed. But when Warner Brothers pitched the sequel to Michael Jordan, he told them,
Stop it. Get some help.
Since then, they tried jams with other stars, like Spy Jam with Jackie Chan, Golf Jam with Tiger Woods, and Skate Jam with Tony Hawk. But none of these fell through until finally Warner Brothers stuck a deal with NBA player LeBron James to be the main star of the new Looney Tunes basketball movie Space Jam: A New Legacy. Alright, so in the movie, young LeBron is at a basketball game, and he is handed a Game Boy by his friend, which he starts playing for literally 15 seconds, until he gets caught by his coach, who tells him, "We lost the basketball game because you were playing the Game Boy for 15 seconds. And then LeBron stopped playing video games forever, and threw away the Game Boy in the trash. I mean, honestly, he was right to throw away Crazy Castle. That game sucks. I played it real quick. You play as Bugs Bunny collecting keys, you can't jump, and the other Looney Tunes for some reason kill you. Skip to the future, LeBron caught his son having fun, and he's like, "You can't be a professional basketball player if you keep playing NBA Jam. Now play for real, or else I'm getting the belt." So his son gets upset and leaves. Meanwhile, in the Serververse, Algorithm, the algorithm of Warner Brothers, wants to use LeBron's fame to get him more recognition for himself. So he invites LeBron to a meeting at Warner Brothers headquarters. After that, LeBron's son Dom shows off his new NBA Jam mod that crashes and destroys his PC when he does LeBron's famous step back move in game. Later, when LeBron and company are at the Warner Brothers meeting room, Al Jean shows off his new invention that can digitally copy anybody into any movie. LeBron thinks the idea sucks, and Al Jean gets offended and kidnaps LeBron and his son and challenges him to a basketball game, where if Al Jean and his team wins, he gets to keep LeBron in the HBO Max home screen forever. So he sends LeBron to Toon World, where he gets terrorized by Bugs Bunny. Also, Bugs Bunny explains that he's gone crazy and depressed because everyone left Toon World for other worlds in the Serververse. So he agrees to help LeBron put together an elite team, but instead of getting the OP characters LeBron listed on the board, and I don't know about you, but this list would have made for a better movie. Bugs instead used this as an excuse to get together his Looney Tune friends, because the original Space Jam is canon. And then comes my favorite part of the movie, which is Bugs and LeBron acquiring all the tunes from different worlds. Honestly, this part of the movie needs to be an HBO Max series on its own. After that, the tunes are training with LeBron, and he's like, "Oh, you guys suck at basketball." Then Bugs is like, "No, we're just having fun." Then LeBron becomes a strict dad to all the tunes. "Bugs, don't make me get the belt." Shortly after that, the big game starts, and now Gene summons all the IPs from HBO Max, and cosplayers from every Comic-Con convention. And are all these characters really that excited for a basketball game? Don't they have more important lives going on in their worlds? He then warps all LeBron's followers from the real world and explains if the Toon Squad loses, they're all trapped in the Serververse forever. Wait, that wasn't part of the deal. I thought the plan was to get more fame off of LeBron's following. This is going to make everyone hate anything related to Warner Brothers. This is a national crisis like the snap from Infinity War. When the actual game begins, the movie just follows the same formula from Space Jam. The Toons get crushed by the other team, then the Toons find their confidence and start catching up to the opposing team. The opposing team makes a comeback, and the Toon Squad needs to make a final dunk last minute in order to win the game. Everyone is happy, Bugs Bunny dies, and LeBron learns that fun is good. The end. I feel like this movie's better experience in the movie theater, because that's what I saw for the first time. Also, the theatrical release of this movie is a missed opportunity to have one of the new HBO Max Looney Tunes cartoons play before the movie. I would like to see one of those cartoons play on the big screen. I wish there was more stuff done with the cameos of all the other Warner stuff. You can hardly see them because they're too blurry most of the time. The least they can do is have some gags or reaction shots, like giving some of the guest characters roles on a court. I was really hoping for something like the Animaniacs catching the ball or Space Ghost doing live commentary. The only character that gets a real gag is King Kong for a dumb joke.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
You can clearly see the live action characters though, and they're extremely distracting. They really do look like bad cosplayers. And most of the Looney Tunes really don't do anything on a court. The only characters that did something were Tweety, Taz, Granny, Wily, and Roadrunner. All the other tunes either just pass the ball or not be there at all.
Oh God, no!
LeBron's acting is better than Michael Jordan was in the first movie.
You guys are nuts.
It's not great acting, but it's good enough for this kind of movie. And the biggest sin of this movie is no new Quad City DJ remix. What happened to the new one they were working on for this movie? I mean, that song is too iconic. How can you have Space Jam and not have Quad City DJ? Despite all its flaws, overall I think this movie was a fun time. I really enjoyed it. A lot of the gags in the movie really made me laugh, except for that terrible Porky Pig rap. Ugh. Even though the basketball game itself was long, I still found it entertaining. I like how a lot of the parts was inspired by video games. So in conclusion, this is better than the first movie easily. And Warner Bros. Is already in the talks about making a new one with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And hey, I'm all down for it. Keep these weird movies coming. They're too much fun to talk about. This franchise is the reason Looney Tunes are still relevant today. Oi, I am exhausted. This review took a while, maybe because I had to watch everything Space Jam and play all all the games that are involved with it. Well, most of the games. But I had to make this video because the Looney Tunes Back in Action one, for some reason, is my most popular one. It's like, as I'm looking at this right now, it has like 2K views. And like every other video, it like barely breaks 100. So it's like, okay, I gotta make as soon as Space Jam 2 comes out, I'm gonna make a Space Jam 2 review. And then that turned into like, I can just do everything Space Jam. And I redid the first movie again. Even though I kind of reviewed it a little bit in the Back in Action video. I mean, even got like somebody asking like, hey, can you do a more in-depth version of Space Jam? I was like, I thought I went in-depth already, but like revisiting the movie again, it's like, yeah, I didn't go in-depth enough. I was kind of skimming through it. I still like the Looney Tunes Back in Action better than Space Jam 2, because it's more of a Looney Tunes movie. And if you want to hear me go more in-depth on Space Jam 2, me and my friend Brian, we did a podcast. We have a, well, by the way, sorry. We have a new podcast, by the way, called Screen Blast Podcast. And we review everything we usually watch, most of all the new things. And I'm going to have to edit the podcast at the time of this recording isn't up right now. But I'm going to edit it right after I finish this review. So we did our whole review on Space Jam, on Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. We talk about that. If you want to find our podcast, it's screenblastpodcast.com. I have the domain, and we're available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and definitely and Anchor. Almost pretty much every platform. I think there's also a YouTube channel I need to link on my channel as well, that we're eventually gonna upload clips on. But and the existence of the Teen Titans Go see Space Jam was weird. There was a few funny jokes, but like not that many. Like I said in the review, it's not that worth seeing. And I really don't like the Space Jam PS1 video game. Like, I'm glad that's over with, but I love the Space Jam 2 Xbox Game Pass game, and I wish it was longer. I can't wait to have a friend over and play that multiplayer. That is up to 3 players. I want to play this with as many friends as I can. That's a fun game. It's not the greatest beat 'em up ever, or it's not like an amazing beat 'em up. I'm not like completely jaw dropped by its existence, but the Space Jam 2 video game, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it. But yeah, that was the entire Space Jam of everything. After this, I don't have to deal with anything Space Jam related ever again until Space Jam 3 gets announced. Hopefully it does. You know, I'll be down. Like I said, I'll be down to talk about Space Jam 3. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Thank you for watching, everyone, and logging out, everybody.